Hey everybody, this is Chad Jordan, Director of Marketing at Sport Clips, and this is another edition of the Sport Clips Hall of Fame podcast. Today we're going to be discussing some topics, especially around Help a Hero. Help a Hero month's coming up in October of 2018, as it does every October. And so we have some guests that we've been bringing on from the VFW, and I'll go ahead and have him introduce himself right now.
I'm B.J. Lawrence. I'm the National Commander, which is the Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
All right, and we are here in Darlington, South Carolina. Today we had a race yesterday, a race today. We are literally sitting in an RV in the infield at turn 2, I believe, and they are doing their qualifying rounds right now, runs. So what you might hear in the background will be, I don't know, hopefully Eric Jones, maybe Denny Hamlin screaming by us. So there goes one right there. We'll try to ignore it ourselves, so I don't know if it gets picked up when you guys are listening to this. But BJ, it's a pleasure to have you. Give me, obviously you've served in the military. Can you give me just a little bit of background about who you are, where you came from, all that kind of fun stuff?
Well, I'm from New Mexico.
Okay.
As soon as I got out of high school, I went into the Army and served 3.5 years in the United States Army. I worked in 2 different fields in the Army. I actually worked air defense artillery, and then I worked nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare.
Wow.
Yes, so I came home and was trying to decide if I wanted to stay in the military or not. And when I returned home, the local chief of police offered me a job as a police officer.
Cool.
So I chose to take that route for a career path, which I did. I worked in law enforcement. I worked as a narcotics agent. I worked as an investigator. When I retired from law enforcement, I had a private investigation company for about 5 years before doing the VFW full time. I actually been a member of the VFW for 20 years, but I became very active and started up in national leadership roles in the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, and we're definitely going to get into that. New Mexico, narcotics, cop, nothing to do with Breaking Bad television show or any blue meth that was out there?
No, the closest I got to that is I drove by the house where they filmed it
Okay,
in
yeah.
Albuquerque. I actually live 3.5 hours south of Albuquerque. I'm on the Texas-New Mexico border.
Gotcha, right, cool. So let's get back to VFW. How did you get involved? You said 20 years, I believe? So
Yes.
how did that start?
Well, my father was a World War II veteran,
Okay.
and I grew up in the VFW with him,
Mm-hmm.
visiting the local VFW as a child.
Okay.
Went into the Army, and after I got out of the Army, I didn't even realize I was eligible to be a member of the VFW, even though I grew up in the VFW.
Wow.
And it was quite some time later, in fact, almost 15 years after becoming eligible in the VFW, someone finally
Tapped you on the shoulder
and said, "Hey, you're eligible."
You know, walk me through that. How are you eligible? How were you?
You have to have served in a combat or conflict area.
Okay.
Or you've had to been assigned to an area that which you received hostile fire or imminent
Okay.
danger pay.
I
We have
see.
certain eligibility requirements. We're chartered through Congress as a veterans nonprofit organization. So a veteran has to meet those requirements to join our
And
organization.
would veterans know this about where they served, or is there a website they go to check eligibility? How does that work?
Well, it can actually work in several ways. For me, I had a VFW member talk to me and talk
Okay.
me through the process. We also have a national website, which is www.vfw.org,
Okay.
which lists our eligibility requirements, gives the viewer information on the organization, what we do for veterans, our military, and their families, so they can find out there. But we also have folks every day out in communities spreading the word about the good things we do,
Mhm.
and trying to get our message across throughout communities and let prospective members know what it takes to join. So we do recruiting actively every day.
And over 2 decades being involved with the VFW, you mentioned some of the good things you guys do. What have you seen over 20 years, locally in Albuquerque, now nationally? But what are give me some examples of things that you guys do?
Well, I refer to to some of our long-standing traditions, if you will, as our core programs. Historically, the VFW started in 1899, and it was formed as an organization of veterans returning from war who felt that they needed to band together
Wow.
and form an organization to take care of other veterans. They
Yeah.
felt like when they returned from war, they weren't receiving the entitlements they deserved or proper care they deserved. That's how the VFW was formed in 1899. Today, as an organization, we still play a part in that. We're very active on Capitol Hill. Some of the things that I've seen evolve in the VFW has only been those things that I would say have even gotten better today. We have a strong presence of 1.7 million members. We also have an office in Washington, D.C. that focuses solely on serving veterans, lobbying our elected officials on Capitol Hill, advocating on behalf of veterans for entitlement purposes or benefit purposes. The VFW has been very instrumental over the years in actually writing legislation that affects veterans, our military, and their families. That's something that I have not seen change in 20 years I've been a member. If it's changed, it's only gotten better over time. It's
Right.
evolved into a bigger presence, a bigger program.
And your role now, how do you get being involved for 20 years and then get to the level? First of all, does it take 20 years to get to the level you're at, or could anybody join and kind of take some certain steps to get to this place? Well,
we serve as leaders. We serve at different levels throughout the organization.
Okay.
We have leadership structures and levels in the local communities, which we refer to as posts.
All right.
That's a typical VFW
and that's usually
that
a
your
physical
listener
building,
will
right?
see, yes,
Yeah,
in their
okay.
community. Then we have a district structure, which is several of those VFWs from a local area, which form a district. And then we have a state structure of leadership, and then from state, then you advance up to the national level. For our positions, and the position I currently serve, I had to be elected
Okay.
by the entire organization to serve in this position.
And it's a how many year term?
It's a 3-year term.
Okay.
We have a third in command, which we call a junior vice commander in chief. We have a second in command, which we call a senior vice commander in chief. Then we have the commander, the national commander, which my official title is commander in chief of the VFW.
Okay. And so each year you serve
One
one of
year.
those. Okay.
Yes.
One of those positions. So, can you fill me in on any personal connections or stories that you've seen over the last couple decades, the VFW doing? You maybe redact the names if you'd like, but any veterans that just stick out, their story has stuck out with you.
Well, actually, in all honesty, hundreds come to mind.
Yeah.
But I travel a lot and I see good things happening everywhere I go. From our membership, what our members do in their communities on a daily basis, but I also see the stories from veterans that we've had an opportunity to help, whether it be that Vietnam veteran who has been struggling, trying to get entitlements and health care and benefits that maybe one of our veteran service officers was able to step in and assist him and was able to recover his benefits that were long overdue. To a veteran that reached out to us, and through one of our mental health partners, we were able to save a life.
Yeah.
We're still doing good things like that. We have a program that we stress mental health awareness and recognizing the signs of mental health distress, and we have partnerships that we can refer veterans to and get them the information they need. And we hear stories every day. We hear of a veteran who was maybe considering taking their life, and they felt like they had nowhere to turn, but through one of our programs, they reached out to us and we were able to get them help. Those are the type of stories.
Yeah, the life-saving ones that really get you.
Correct. We're able to make a impact in veterans' lives and their families and things we do every day.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's one of the great things about our partnership with Sport Clips.
Yeah.
You know, when we partnered with Sport Clips, we felt there was a need there to assist our veterans and military to further their education, to maybe give them a better quality of life
Yep.
through education. And it's been a great program. You know, we partnered with Sport Clips to administer the program, and we've been able to provide almost 1,100 scholarships to veterans and military to help further their education. In fact, today those scholarships total about $5 million worth of educational assistance.
That's mind-boggling, and something that blows me away is people veterans get out of the military, and maybe they had trained in a certain job, a certain type of job, and they're wondering, well, how is that going to translate to a real-world job, right? But then they get this scholarship opportunity, and they get to cross-train somewhere else. And not only are they employable, they're highly employable because of their discipline they've had in the military. It's almost, between you and me, I don't know, an unfair advantage, really. But they don't think of it that way when they're getting out and they're wondering what they're going to do. So these scholarships really do make an impact. And obviously at Sport Clips, we love doing this. We love what you guys are doing. Can you help me understand, is there a cost for veterans to be in the VFW or to go through this scholarship process? I mean,
No, actually, I have a saying I like to use when I describe what we do to people. Everything the VFW does costs money, but everything the VFW does, we do for free.
wow, yeah,
And if you think about that, we have numerous programs out there that we're providing as an organization, whether it's our youth scholarship programs or whether it's our veteran service programs where we assist veterans with their claims. We've helped veterans recover over $7 billion with a
You said the B?
$7 billion worth of entitlements and benefits.
wow.
through our
They didn't know. It's not like somebody was keeping it from them. It
Well,
was mostly
whether they knew,
Okay.
whether they didn't know, we helped and assisted them through the process to recover those benefits entitlements. It's what they deserved. It
Yes.
was the right thing
Yeah.
to do, is
Yeah.
to take care of our nation's veterans.
Right.
But no, these programs that we administer are at no cost, and you don't have to be a member of the VFW to come to us for assistance.
Right.
Any veteran can come in the door anytime, and we will do whatever we can to help them or their families.
Awesome. And every October we have Help a Hero. We're going to do that again this year. BJ, I really appreciate you spending some time. First of all, thank you for your service. Thanks for giving up some time today for me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. We're making a difference in veterans' lives, and that's what we need to continue doing. And I enjoy the relationship with Sport
Yeah.
Clips because together we're making it happen.
Yeah, we are, man. Thanks so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks, everybody.